They called her useless, too slow, too plain, too ordinary. The kind of girl who, according to everyone around her, would never matter. But years later, that same girl's name would be written in history books. Not as a side note, not as a footnote, as proof that useless was the greatest lie ever told. Her name was Clara Mitchell. She grew up in a small town in Indiana, in a house where paint peeled from the siding and the heater broke every winter. At school, she was invisible except when people noticed her for the wrong reasons. She wasn't athletic, wasn't the popular girl, and her grades were average. In group projects, teachers often heard whispers, "Don't put Clara on our team. She won't help." Even her own cousins laughed at family gatherings. "You're kinda useless, huh?" She never argued back. She just lowered her eyes, folded her hands, and carried the word inside her like a secret bruise. By high school, the label stuck. She worked nights at a diner, scraping grease off tables while classmates planned college tours. She was told she wasn't college material. And the cruelest part? She started to believe it. One night, Clara stared at herself in the bathroom mirror after her shift. Grease stains on her apron, hair pulled back, eyes that looked tired at only 17. And she whispered the word out loud. Useless. That was the moment she almost gave up. But the next day, something small shifted. At the diner, an old man left a newspaper on the counter. Clara picked it up absent-mindedly, flipping through pages until she stopped on one line. History is written by ordinary people who refused to stay ordinary. It was nothing more than a quote at the bottom of a column. But those words rattled in her chest like a bell. What if useless was just someone else's definition? What if she could rewrite her own? So Clara began again. Day one. She went to the library and checked out a biography of Harriet Tubman. She read it cover to cover, underlining sentences that made her sit up straighter. Week 3. She started filling cheap spiral notebooks with ideas, quotes, and questions about history, about leaders, about ordinary people who had done extraordinary things. Month 6. She began volunteering at the local community center, tutoring kids in reading and telling them the stories she was learning. The kids listened, wide-eyed, as Clara, the girl called useless, brought history alive. Year 2. She applied to community college. She got rejected twice. On the third try, she was accepted not into a big university but into a small program where she worked by day and studied by night. No one clapped. No one posted congratulations. But Clara kept going. Years later, Clara was in graduate school, still balancing diner shifts, still writing in spiral notebooks. Her professors noticed something unusual. She didn't just memorize facts. She connected them. She wrote papers about how ordinary factory workers, janitors, and mothers were the hidden threads in American history. She argued that history wasn't just presidents and wars, it was people. Her thesis, rejected twice, rewritten, then finally published. Soon, publishers called. Her book, The Invisible Hands That Built a Nation, became a groundbreaking text taught in classrooms across America. Clara Mitchell, the girl once called useless, was now quoted in history books herself. So what's the point? Clara didn't suddenly become a genius. She didn't find a magic formula. She did something more powerful. She refused to let other people's labels become her life. And here's what you can take today. 1. Question the labels. Just because someone names you doesn't mean it's true. Tear off the tags others slap on you. 2. Start small, stay steady. Clara's power came from library cards and notebooks, not applause. Begin with what you have. 3. Redefine success. History isn't only written by the great. It's written by the consistent, the persistent, and the ordinary who refuse to stay ordinary. So, friend, maybe you've been called useless. Maybe the world told you you'll never matter. But remember Clara. Remember the girl who turned whispers into chapters and insults into history. If this story lit a spark in you, hit like, drop a comment about the label you're tearing off, and subscribe for more stories that remind you, you are not useless. You are history in the making.